When we talk about what it takes to succeed today, a new battle line has really been drawn. It's not just about raw talent anymore, not even close. It's become this clash between two massive forces. On one hand, the cutting-edge tools we have right at our fingertips, and on the other, that deep-down, internal will to win. So let's break down this modern duel.
So what really makes a champion in this day and age? Is it having access to the absolute best technology and data? Or is it that old school, you can't teach it, unbreakable inner drive? That's the big question we're going to dig into.
So on one side of the ring, you've got the world of perfect data. We're talking about strategies driven by complex algorithms, predictive analytics. It's all about the power of the tool. And on the other side, just raw discipline. An unbreakable inner resolve that leads to non-negotiable action. That's the power of the will. These are two totally different philosophies, and both of them promise to give you that ultimate edge. First up, let's dive into the external game. You know, technology isn't just a nice little accessory anymore. For a lot of people, it's become the entire playbook.
And listen, this isn't just a Silicon Valley story. Far from it. Just look at the African sports tech scene. You've got markets like Tanzania that are seeing absolutely explosive growth in mobile app engagement. This is creating these incredible, unique opportunities for new platforms to connect with fans, all while they're figuring out how to innovate around local challenges. It's a truly global technological revolution.
What's really happening here is a fundamental shift in how decisions get made. That gut feeling, that pure intuition, it's being backed up, and in a lot of cases, flat out replaced by the cold, hard, predictive power of data. It's becoming less about what you feel is the right move, and more about what the numbers show is the most probable outcome. And all this data, it's not just some academic exercise, it is big, big business. As you can see here, strategies like subscription apps and player analytics, they come with some massive challenges. I mean, you've got to somehow maintain user trust when a prediction inevitably goes wrong. You have to navigate the really tricky ethics of forecasting human performance. And you have to do all that while trying to survive in an incredibly crowded market. It's a very high-risk, high-reward game. Which, brings us to a really crucial question. Technology is powerful, no doubt, but it's not perfect. So what happens when the model has a flaw? Or when the data just can't predict a moment of pure human genius? Or a total meltdown? What do you have left when the tools fail you? And that question, well, it brings us perfectly to the other side of the coin, the internal game. We're going to shift gears now from external tools to a philosophy that says the most powerful weapon you will ever have is the one you forge inside yourself. The core belief of this whole mindset is summed up right here. Forget waiting around to feel motivated. This philosophy basically says that motivation is completely unreliable. It's just a fleeting emotion. The real currency of achievement, that's unbreakable, non-negotiable discipline. Let's break that down, because it's a huge distinction. Think of it this way. Motivation is what makes you want to go to the gym on a sunny day when you're feeling great. But discipline is what makes you go at 5 a.m. in the pouring rain when you'd rather do literally anything else. See, one is just a feeling. The other is a system. One is totally unreliable, but the other is an engine that you build, piece by piece, every single day. So how does this actually work in the real world? Well, from a money angle, it's about being ruthless, cutting out wasteful spending, things that give you a quick hit of pleasure but have no long-term value, and just funneling that cash into savings and investments. Then there's the fitness angle. It's about using that non-negotiable training to build insane mental toughness, basically treating the gym like a boot camp for business success. Now, holding all of this together is a concept called radical accountability, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the absolute core belief that you, and only you, are 100% responsible for every single outcome in your life. It means you completely reject all external excuses, no exceptions. And from this perspective, your financial situation, that's entirely on you to solve. Blaming the market, the government, your boss, all of that is seen as a sign of weakness. The core idea here is that at the end of the day, you are the only accountability partner that really, truly matters. So, okay, we've got these two powerful and, well, seemingly opposite worlds, right? But the really interesting stuff starts to happen when they're not in opposition. What happens when they actually start to merge? This is where we get what you could call the modern athlete's mindset.
It's a hybrid model. It's all about using every single possible advantage you can get from data and technology, but, and this is the key part, making sure that whole system is powered by an unbreakable internal engine of discipline. And this slide, this shows you the complete arsenal. The absolute top performers today aren't just using external analytics. They're pairing it with internal self-mastery. And what you get is this powerful feedback loop where the data informs your discipline and your discipline helps you better interpret the data. This is what elite performance looks like now. So, the most important point is this. This whole debate of tools versus will, it's kind of becoming obsolete. The real advantage, the ultimate edge, it doesn't come from picking one side over the other. It comes from mastering that delicate but incredibly powerful interplay between them. Which brings us to our final thought. As we look ahead to the future of competition, of business, of just achievement itself, what's going to be the thing that truly separates the best from the rest? Well, the key takeaway here is that success just isn't a simple equation anymore. It demands that you master both the external game of technology and the internal game of personal will. It's not enough to have the best data if you don't have the discipline to actually act on it, especially when the pressure is on. And that leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating question. As technology and AI make that external game more and more accessible to everyone, basically leveling the playing field, is our raw, unconquerable human will the only true advantage we have left? Something to think about